Hey, good morning, and what is up, Buttercups? It's Amy. Oh my goodness, I'm telling you, it's been a very lively week so far. Not. Um, I, uh, I I don't want to turn my channel into anything like a satire type of entertainment of any form, really. But, I think some of the stuff I might do might involve that. I see a lot of people who do reaction videos and stuff like that on just like mainstream YouTube stuff, like VidCon and all that stuff. That whole situation with Anita, VidCon, whatever, that is just drama that I don't even want to think about getting wrapped up into. Um, but on the side of the whole cyberbullying thing, my take on this, I was bullied as a kid. I was always a big girl, not just fat wise, tall wise. I was always a big girl. I mean, I'm like 5'11" and a half, and I've been that size, I think, since I was probably about 16. So I was always the tallest girl everywhere. It was hard to get a date and the whole 9 yards or whatever. And then I had some weight issues on top of it growing up. I've always fought with my weight issues. So yes, I have been a victim of my teasing and bullying and whatever the case is. And you know what? To an extent, I I don't believe it's correct. I don't believe it's right in any form, but I do believe it has made me the stronger person that I am today. And it's given me a thicker skin where people can say things to me and I laugh with them instead of sitting there, "Ooh." I could care less. And honestly, some of the comments people come up with anymore, I get a good chuckle out of them. I don't care what the content of it is. Um, there has My only intolerance is people with disabilities, people with things that they cannot help themselves, um, people that, unless they have a metabolic condition, even people who are overweight in that sense. It's kind of like, it's hurtful. It is. It's very hurtful. And, people with disabilities, like for my example, for my son, I have seen quite a few videos out there, and this is what I was getting back to about the reaction videos, of people how they, make really nasty comments to people who have, that are on the spectrum, or people who are in a wheelchair of some sort, or something like that. And some of the nasty stuff's going on right here in Philadelphia. We just had an incident where this dumb guy decided he was just gonna be messing with some poor gent that just had cerebral palsy. The man had some erratical movements because of his condition and everything, and the guy started making fun of him, and you know, and then it turned violent, and the guy started getting the crap beat out of him for no the disabled guy. This dude like went after him for no apparent reason whatsoever, and that kind of stuff, it just blows my mind how people are that ignorant and that stupid and harmful like that. I don't get that. Um, yeah, but like when it comes to my son, I'm gonna warn y'all right now. I am a mama bear when it comes to my son, and I do not want any kind of hate on my page. I do not want hate on my comments, on my anything related to my videos with my son. If it is not constructive criticism, if it is not, something to benefit from or learn from, or something that has a positive twist on it, even would be nice. I don't want it on my page, and it will be blocked because I just have no time or patience for people who do that kind of crap. So yeah, so that's my morning rant for today. I just figured I'd get all that. But down the line with the reaction videos, I might even start doing my own reaction videos when I see news stories coming out and stuff like that that have relation to people with disabilities, and how people are being treated. you know it's not just one race or one gender or one whatever or one way you live your lifestyle anymore. It doesn't matter. It's out there. The hate is out there. And you know what? There's nothing you, me, or anybody else is going to be able to do about those handful of bad apples that are going to ruin the whole bunch. So, you just got to kind of, you know, go with the flow and hit with the punches, I guess, sometimes. So, Yeah, my son is getting a bit impatient. Hi, Jared.
Hi, Jared.
What did he say?
Hi.
Yeah, everyone's saying hello.
Hello.
What's the rules, dude?
Bikini. Very good. Seriously. Sinaloa.
And we use our,
Where?
not our.
Yeah.
Very, very good. I pride myself that he knows that by heart. And we even add to it every so often if, like, issues come up. Yeah, so I got a little deterred there for a minute. So, anywho, alright, so I ran it long enough, and if anything else cool comes up for the rest of the day, I will be sure to post it. See you later. Hey guys, what's going on? Well, we had a lot going on today. I did not film most of this just because it was just a very rough day for Jared. Yeah, for those of you who have children that are on the spectrum that deal with either aggressive behaviors or just, just kids wigging out for no reason whatsoever. My son was having some terrible time today. He got in from his ESY program and he was all kinds of bent out of shape. He was whining and crying. And usually when it gets like that and whiny or whatever, it's either because he's overworked, overtired, or something along that line. And it just escalated into something very, very ugly. My son actually, for the first time ever, aggressively had put his hands on me today. He actually like reached out to pull my hair today. He tried to hit me at least once, which it does not happen ever. It's never happened with me, let's put it that way. He's had problems on and off with dad and his grandmother and stuff like that, but I've never fully experienced him having problems like that with me, like as far as being, you know, lashing out at me or anything like that. So, yeah, for the first time, I was just very, very upset. And my response was not a response I was very proud of myself with. Just more of an instinct thing than it was trying to even think of anything. It wasn't even out of anger. It was out of an instinct to protect myself kind of thing. But he like went to grab my hair like this. And like, if you understand what I'm talking about, like when back in the day when like a woman was hysterical, they thought the best thing to do was just slap the crap out of them just to stun them out of it. And I had to kind of do that with Jared. I like gave him a like real quick, and he startled back real quick, and he let go, and it just escalated even more. And I was just like, oh my god. Ultimately, he ended up breaking his bed. He broke the sofa. He threw the remote control, his iPad across the room with his book bag, and it was just a hot mess. And that's one reason I've never ever corrected him like that. I've never raised my hand to him like that. I mean, when he was little, we did a little pat on the hiney here and there. Nothing, major that ever triggered any problems. But like today was the first time I reacted to that. Um, After before the whole slap thing, at one point we were standing outside. We were getting ready to go get something to eat, and he just got like right in my face and was like yelling and screaming. And instinctually, because he was so close, he was like that, like right up in my face, and like had this look of rage on his face. Scared the crap out of me because I've never seen it come from him before like that. And my instinct was to grab his face, and I ended up going here, and I had to quickly catch myself to move my hand to his face because I was afraid, I was gonna hurt him. And I've never like had crossed something like that in my entire life with him, and it kind of broke my heart because I've never had to be like that with him ever, ever, ever. And I mean, his case manager ended up coming over. It was like a whole thing, and I had her even go over him with a fine-tooth comb, and I said, look, yeah, this is what's going on. This is what happened. This is what I did, and whatever. And she basically told me, yeah, it's no big deal. She said, you know what, you had to do what you had to do to get him off of you. She's like, just as it is what it is. She said you did it the most conjugal way that you could figure out how to do it. And still now, I still kind of feel bad because I've never like hit my son like that. It just was very, very upsetting. So yeah, it was just, I guess, an adventurous evening to say the least. We were introduced to a new BSC worker tonight. For those who don't know what a BSC worker is, they are usually the person that heads off a team called a wraparound team, which involves the BSC worker, which is the behavioral specialist kind of a thing, and they also have a mobile therapist, and they have what's called TSS workers that work with them, which is therapeutic staff support. And the TSS workers, they more or less work in the community, or work in school, or work at the person's work with them, or whatever the case is. The mobile therapist kind of acts almost like a family counselor kind of thing. They kind of congeal everything together. We don't get mobile therapy though. I'm thinking maybe now, but we might want to look into it. And then the BSC worker kind of heads off the whole team and makes up the treatment plan and all that stuff. And so we got to meet with the new BSC workers tonight. Jared was not about meeting anybody new, so he ended up going to bed early. Yeah, so Jared ended up going to bed a little early, and I was kind of thankful for that because he was exhausted and I felt so bad for him. And, you know, I gave him a big hug and a kiss, and he said how sorry I was, and he said he was sorry to me, and I said, we can't do that anymore, buddy. He's like, yeah. So, yeah, he was feeling just about as bad as I was. Yeah, so it made for an interesting evening. So it's gonna be a very short video today, but I just want to update you guys and give you a scenario. It's not all kinds of peaches and cream over here all the time. Yeah, we do have our moments, and we do have our problems. So, on that note, I'm gonna probably go to bed. I'm very, very tired. So if you have any suggestions that maybe there's a better way I could have handled things, or if anybody out there has had a similar or is still having a similar situation that I dealt with, you know, feel free to comment, and maybe any kind of feedback is kind of helpful. Or maybe if I can offer feedback to somebody else or something, I don't know. So yeah, we'll see where that takes us. So make sure you give me a like and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow, and we'll start another brand new day. Have a good night.